Hey everybody, it's Richard here with EduData Consulting. Today I'd like to share with you a workflow for processing Google form requests utilizing a connection from Google Sheets to AppSheet. So in other words, we'll be able to process data on our Google Sheet and Google Calendar via the AppSheet app on our iPhone. So in this example, we'll be managing a fleet of buses that manages school field trips, and this is what this could look like using this workflow. So I've built a Google form, a basic form, and I've added hyperlinks to the bus calendars. These bus calendars are resource calendars in my Google Workspace domain. In other words, they can be attached to regular Google events, similar to a way you would invite a guest to a Google Calendar event. So those are there just to view so you can identify when there's availability before you make the request. And I've already filled out a form. We're taking a trip to Mount Vernon. We've got our departure times, how many passengers, some special instructions for the driver. And I'm even saying we just need one bus. If I needed multiple buses, I could select more than one bus. And I'm going to submit that form. And per usual, our response will land in a response sheet. However, I've prepared this response sheet slightly differently. I've added a sheet to house all of the calendar IDs I'm going to need access to process this information. And I've also connected another sheet, which is essentially an export of the bus calendar that includes events from today and 6 months into the future. So none of the past events will show up on this, and it's refreshed with every submission through every time it's processed by the bus manager. So, and then on the right, I've also set up a short script that will assign a unique record ID. So we use this record ID to basically build a relationship between the requests and the schedule. So when I approve the bus schedule, it will add this record ID to the metadata of the Google event as a tag. So that way when I return all of the schedule, I'm returning the tag to get that data into this spreadsheet as well. So I'll leave it on this sheet for right now because the first thing we're going to do now is head over to the phone, and we're going to look. Just going to give it a quick refresh here, and we're going to go to the bus request, and in the monthly view we can see the one that I just put in, right? It's going to be on August 21st, right? So this is the bus one that I just put into Mount Vernon. I'm going to click on it, and the way I would process this is I simply need to assign a driver, right? I've got all the details I need. If it looks good, I'm going to hit the edit button, and I'm going to choose from my list of bus drivers, and I'm going to give this job to Sally. So when I hit save, you can see that little orange icon at the top there. It's processing it. It has now processed that request, and we will now find it over as a scheduled event. So, and if I go back to the bus request, notice my queue for bus request is empty. But if I go over to the scheduled ones, I can see now Sally is on duty for that trip. And I've sunk this with the Google Calendar. So if we go to August 21st, we can see our trip that Sally has taking to Mount Vernon. But again, if I'm mainly processing all of this on my phone and I want to be able to update that Google Calendar event through my app, I can also do that through AppSheet. So if I click on Sally's event and I go to edit, and maybe Sally's not feeling well that morning, we need a new driver, I'm going to hand it off to Bob and hit save. And what this will do is send the update back to the app as well as back to Google Calendar. So I have all of the latest updated information on my app and on my calendar.